So today we're going to look at algebra. It's one of those topics which when people hear the word algebra they kind of panic a bit, but what I want to show you is it's very, very simple. So let's just get started, and I'll just show you by some examples basic algebra, how it works and how you can figure it out pretty quickly. So let's get stuck straight in. Let's just take an equation. Let's take the algebraic equation, x plus 3 is equal to 7. So all this is asking us to do is find out what is x. So all we have to do ultimately is find what plus 3 is equal to 7. And that's all algebra is ever asking you to do. It's just asking you to find the missing number. And once you find the missing number, that's it. You've solved the equation. You've solved for x in this case. So when you see the letters, don't panic. All it's asking you to do is to find that value of x in this case, or whatever is missing from that box. So I could easily write just like a box like this. So something from this box plus 3 is equal to 7, and I can put any other letter there as well. I can put a y, I can put a z, I can put anything. So all we need to do is find out what plus 3 is equal to 7. Now this one's quite an obvious one. We can see just by looking that 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. So that's your basic algebraic equation. So let's try another one. Let's scroll down and then have a look at something a little bit harder. So one other thing we're going to have to look at before we try that though is how basically solving algebraic equations work. So all we did with that one is we looked and we saw that the answer was obvious. It was obviously 4. But let's take another equation. Let's take 2x plus 4 is equal to 10. And in this case, we can look at it and we can trial and error and we can get the answer. But we're going to look a little bit more deeply than that. We're going to look at how you can solve any algebraic equation. So what you have to remember is what an equal sign actually means. So in this case, an equal sign means everything on this side of the equation is the same as everything on this side of the equation. So you can think of it like this. You can think of it effectively like a big seesaw. And in the middle, under the equal sign, we have our pivot. So everything, the 2x plus 4 over here, is equal to, with the pivot, is equal to 10. So like a seesaw, everything I do on this side, I've also got to do on this side. And if I don't, then it doesn't balance. So let's, for example, say I take my equation 2x plus 4 over here is equal to 10. And I decide that I'm going to add 1 to, the right side. So if I rewrite that, what you can see, I've got the 2x plus 4 is equal to 11. But hang on a minute here, our seesaw is no longer in balance. So our 2x plus 4 is now lighter. We'll put our equal sign in, but we know that that's not true. It's now lighter than our 11. So the 11 is effectively weighing down that side of the seesaw. So what we need to remember is that everything we do to one side of the equation, or the seesaw in this case, we have to do to the other side of the equation. So in this case, what we do, for example, I've just scrolled down and we'll put our seesaw again. Instead of writing 2x plus 4, when we add the 1 to both sides, we have to write, for example, 2x plus 5 is equal to 11. And all you can see is we've added the same number to both sides. So this side is equal to this side. So everything we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. Otherwise, we just get an imbalanced seesaw, effectively an imbalanced equation. And so with that in mind, we can set about solving this equation. So let's go back to our original equation. We've got our 2x plus 4 is equal to 10. So let's take it. So remember, everything we do to the one side, we have to do to the other side. So what we want to do is we want to get that x on its own so that we can solve the equation for the x. We can see what x is equal to. So if you look at this equation, all you have to do is figure out how can we make it more simple. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. So if I just write over here the minus 4 and then a couple of dots, And then I minus 4 off both sides of the equation. So off the left we have 2x plus 4 minus 4. So the plus 4 and the minus 4, they cancel each other out. And so that gives us a 2x. And then on the other side of the seesaw, the other side of the equation, because we've got to keep it balanced, we've got the 10 and we've got to do 10 minus 4. So that gives us 6. So remember, everything we do to the left, we also have to do to the right. And then there's one more step in this, and we can do the same thing. We don't just have to add or subtract, we can divide and we can multiply as well. So in this case, we can divide by 2. So this will give us, if I just put the little divided by 2 there, with the 2 dots, then on the left we have 2x divided by 2, which gives us simply x. And then on the right hand side we have 6 divided by 2, which gives us 3. And there's the solution to our equation. So I hope you can see that algebra isn't as mystifying, or it isn't as difficult as you maybe thought. All you have to do is keep that equation balanced, keep that seesaw balanced, and just work through in simple logical steps. And you find that showing your working makes life a lot easier as well. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.